Hey guys, welcome back. It's Dwann Hall with your weekly motivational moments. For those of you who don't know my story, I was a drug dealer from 13 to 21. I'm someone who fought through depression and alcoholism and anger, feeling like the world's holding me back, to becoming a pretty successful network architect. I've been a successful sales engineer. I've been a successful security specialist, and here lately, I've been a pretty successful presenter for the company that I work with. And each week, I've been sharing motivational videos with the hope that someone out there who was feeling like I was, who was angry, depressed, feeling like the world's holding them back, that maybe they'll be inspired and realize that if I can do it, they can do it as well. Okay, so last week I talked about how we become what we think about, how we need to surround ourselves with people who are doing the things we want to do or achieving the goals that we want to achieve or who are motivating to us so that we become motivated. We start thinking about that. We become the type of person who achieves those goals, right? We fill our mind with positive information, fill our minds with motivating information, and surround ourselves with people who motivate us to do better. Or, as grandmom used to say, if you hang around 9 broke people, you're bound to be the 10th. There's a lot of wisdom in simple sayings like that. So this week, the book I want to share is actually the Holy Bible, and I'm going to share from the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 29. And it says, "Seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men." Seest thou a man diligent in his business? Do you see someone that is doing a good job? Right? Are you one of the best in your profession? Doesn't matter what profession you're in, right? If you are a basketball coach, right? Are you one of the best basketball coaches around? Are you if you're in fast food, right? If you're working for a quick serve restaurant, are you one of the best workers at that fast food restaurant? If you've been paying attention to my videos, you'll see or you'll remember that I said started off roofing as a laborer, basically the janitor. And within 2 years, I was the foreman. I was running a crew, had a bunch of people working for me. Or how I knew nothing about IT, and 3 or 4 years later, I'm managing a team of IT professionals, system admins, right? That's not by accident. I'll tell you another story. One of the first jobs that I got when I stopped selling drugs was I worked at the Dollar Tree for $5.15 an hour. Now, $5.15 an hour was the minimum wage at that point. And this was a seasonal job, right? I was desperate to have any kind of job. I went around multiple shopping centers applying for jobs, got 2 jobs in 2 days, right? I'll do a video about that one day. But the point is that this job, if there's any job that was a dead-end job, minimum wage, temporary, if there was any job that was a dead-end job, this was one of them, right? I don't believe any job was a dead-end job, by the way. So when it came time for my position to end, rather than being let go, I was actually hired on and made something they call a third key. Now, third key is really an assistant manager without the money and without the title, right? But my point is that even though this job, which many people would see as a menial job, they would see as a dead-end job, it was seasonal, I didn't go in there and slack off. I went in there and was trying to be the best person I could be. I was trying to be the best employee there, right? I was trying to be the best that I personally can be. And it wasn't for the Dollar Tree. It wasn't so the manager would recognize me. It's just because that is my work ethic. So every job I've ever gone, I've tried to be the best employee that I can be. Now, I want to be careful there because I don't want you to necessarily think like an employee. It's okay to think like a business owner. But if you are a business owner, let's say you're a barber, right? Are you the best barber around? Are you the best at what you do? You see, there's millions of people in this world that can do your job. That's just the truth, right? And there's plenty of people that will do your job for less money than you would do it for. So the question is, why should someone hire you? Even if you're running your own business, why should I obtain your services? Why should I buy your products, right? There's always room at the top for the very best. And the people who are the best can demand top dollar. But you have to be diligent in your work, in everything you do. I often see people on Facebook talking about how, I didn't do anything at work today, or I just got here, they already asking me to do something, and pretty much bragging about how they don't do anything at their job. Right? But then the same people will complain when they don't get a promotion or they're not making the money that they want to make. You see, a work ethic is not something you can turn on and off. You have to have it all the time. Go back to being a basketball coach. If you're being a basketball coach at a rec league, a volunteer league, maybe you're coaching third or fourth graders, right? Are you the best coaching that rec league? Are you being the best coach that you can be? Because if you are, people are going to recognize that. And then they'll put you in a position to get higher positions, be a better coach somewhere else. I'll give you another example. When I was first moved to Atlanta, I worked for a company called CompuCredit, and there was another gentleman that I worked with there, but he wasn't on my team. He was on a completely different team. And he got hired on over at Nokia. And when Nokia started looking for a network engineer, he called me. He reached out to me. And me and this guy, we were friendly, but we just basically had a working relationship. It wasn't like we had a close personal bond or anything like that, right? But he did that because he recognized that I was a good engineer. If you can't be trusted when someone's paying you minimum wage, why should they pay you more, right? If I can't trust you to be the best football coach for my elementary school or a high schooler, why would I want to send them to you when you become a college coach, right? In fact, you'll never become that college coach because you weren't the best high school coach you could be. So, do you see a man diligent in his work? He will stand before kings. Your work ethic will take you places. It may not be at the job that you're at, right? If you're a CNA, are you the best CNA at that nursing home, right? Because if I were to go start a new business, I want to go launch a new nursing home, guess who I'm going to call on? I'm going to call on people that I know to be the very best. So again, a work ethic is not something you can turn on and off. There's millions of people in this world that could do your job and they're willing to do it for less, but there's always room for the best. There's always room for the top performers. You have to be a top performer in everything that you do. And you have to do it even when you're in a position like I was at the Dollar Tree, working a seasonal job that was going to expire for minimum wage, right? So that's it for this week. Hopefully you'll come back next week, and I'm hoping that someone will hear this message and be inspired. Thank you.